VDD, RD2, RD1, and then this was previous note, and this is today's note. Okay, previously we had used this circuit where we have specified this ISS part, that is the current source. Okay, so when we are dealing with the common mode for the same circuit, we are going to replace here? In case of AC analysis, what did we do? VDD was essentially a capacitor, right? It's a battery. So VDD was shorted to the ground. So that's why we always used to call it as AC ground. Correct? Similarly, the current source, which is again a DC current source supply, it will be replaced by its internal impedance. What is that? Infinity, meaning that it is open with the ground. So that is why if this was Vs, the Vs lies right there without that current source. Concept is clear? Now, when we are dealing with common mode, then we have to ensure that when we were dealing with a differential amplifier, we made an assumption that the current source input, the internal impedance of the current source is infinite. In our common mode operation, we are going to take it as RSS. Okay, what is this RSS? Internal impedance of current source. Okay, now previously, yesterday's last lecture, 2 days ago, Tuesday's lecture, we ensured that the two inputs were totally different. One was ground, the other one is VI1. So essentially the net input VID was VI1 minus 0. Okay. Today's lecture, common mode में क्या करेंगे? We are going to short them. So this is VICM, input common mode, VICM, input common mode. Okay. Let us call this VS again. Okay. Then what happens? Notice the first thing that we will do is, let us first figure out physically what should be the minimum and the maximum value of VICM, what is the range of values of VICM which we can allow to make sure that this differential amplifier even works. For example, there are certain restrictions on the values of VGS and VDS we have seen in the MOSFET. If the MOSFET has to operate in saturation, the minimum value of VDS should be VOV. Remember? So that is the linear saturation boundary. Something similar is going to happen over here as well. Unlike the previous lecture, so all of you are clear about the difference with the previous lecture. This is the previous lecture notes. I am repeating again. This was done, it's the same paper. And this is the new circuit for the common mode. Let's call it VO1, VO2 just as earlier. M1, M2. Spot the differences. RSS, the internal impedance of the current source ISS. What is the other difference you find? Just these two are different. Okay. Now let us understand what should be the minimum value of VICM. We are dealing with the common mode operation of diff amps. An announcement of the quiz 1. I'll put it on the CMS. It has been booked like that. Please make sure you attend that. Alright. Notice the value of the VICM. The voltage which we are applying at VICM, same for both the transistors, is essentially with respect to the ground. Okay, so that means we are going to have the voltage drop across VGS over here, or the same VGS on this side, the same thing. Okay, now the circuit is very much symmetric, unlike the previous lecture. Plus the drop across this RSS, which is I have written as VS. Okay, now how do you create this current source? First of all, it's again with the help of a transistor which is operating at a very high value of VDS. So what I am trying to tell you is that ID VDS curve of a transistor will go like this, right? So this is the linear saturation boundary, correct? So if you are actually biasing the circuit, biasing the transistor somewhere here, what happens? If you notice the GD, which is equal to del ID del VDS, will be equal to how much? Meaning that this implies that RO is infinity. So how are you getting this RO infinity? That is nothing but this RSS. So all you have to do is internally always keep a picture in the mind that this RSS is equivalent to another transistor, let us say M3, where we have applied one VDC. What is this VDC? This voltage over here. Is that part clear? So if you are applying a VDC DC bias for this transistor M3 such that the VDS occurs over in this side, what will happen? So this VDC can also be shorted over here so that VDC becomes equal to VDS. That's also perfectly fine. So the whole idea is that you have to drive this transistor M3 into deep saturation, ताकि ये जो current है वो एकदम constant रहे. That is the constant current which you are getting. Is that part clear? So that is the internal way by which you create current sources throughout the entire integrated circuit. Okay. So finally, what it means is if you have to have VICM, ensure that M1, M3, M2, all of them are in saturation. क्या होना है? This VICM has to be equal to क्या क्या है? VGS2, VGS1, gate to source voltage here. So what is this voltage? VGS1 plus the voltage over here. What is that voltage? VDS3. Clear? Huh? So basically the voltage Vs is nothing other than this VDS3 plus the voltage across the gate and the source for VGS1. Notice that VGS1 is also equal to this VGS2. Now, what I was telling that if you want to ensure that M3 is working as a current source, you will have to ensure that this VDC is such that this VDS should be much higher than this value. What is this value? VOV. VGS minus VT. So this has to be much greater than or equal to, let us say, VGS1 plus VOV3. Makes sense? होना ही है. Why is this? To ensure M3 is a current source. Correct? Now, so what have we got? VICM has to be greater than VGS1. That means the gate to source voltage of the M1 or M2 plus the VOV overdrive voltage for the current source transistor. Why is that important? Because after we are done with diff amps, we will straight away move into op amps. So for the next 1 or 1.5 weeks before the mid-sem, we will be dealing with designing an op amp. Okay. So in that op amp, what we will notice is this transistor is nothing other than one branch of a current mirror. Notice, how did we design a current mirror? We used to have one reference current, and wherever we wanted to drive that current in the IC, we used to have one transistor, remember? So we used to have something like this, and remember we used to write something like load on this side. A typical current mirror. So this transistor is the transistor M3. So what is the advantage? That whatever current reference we are putting at this transistor will essentially be mirrored, current mirror circuit. It will be mirrored into rest of the circuit wherever is the load. So what is the load in this case? The entire differential amplifier. So what is the advantage? In any op-amp or any IC, analog IC, we are going to have only one branch which is dedicated for the I reference. So here we will be having one I reference. Okay. So with this I reference, we are going to mirror it throughout the entire circuit. So all the entire op-amp will be working as a current biased circuit, not voltage biased. जैसे कि आपने in your MEC, one thing I was explaining that in MEC we were dealing with only rail to rail operation. So that means between VDD and ground you had only one transistor. In op-amp we will be having differential mode, folded cascode and many things. So essentially the only way to ensure that all the transistors are in saturation is you essentially drive the same current throughout the circuit. How can it be possible? Only through current source biasing. So this is basically current source biasing. So this transistor which you see is equivalent to M3, and the load which you see in this case is the diff amp. Clear? Can you get the picture? We will anyway go into the op-amp design after 1 or 2 classes. So now, so what is the condition we have noticed? That if you want to drive this load, what is this load? This diff amp. Okay, this diff amp will be working perfectly well provided that the voltage at the input is at least VGS1. This VGS1 is the VGS1 of the diff amp plus VOV3. This is the VOV3 over here. This is actually VGS3 minus VT will be giving you the VOV3. Okay, that is the consideration we have to keep in mind when we are taking up all whatever we have studied until now to design an ideal op-amp. Okay, very good. So this is going to be the minimum value of VICM. Maximum क्या हो सकता है? What is the maximum? Notice that in the previous lecture, what have we seen? In the one of the extreme cases, the entire current is flowing through one of value of VICM which we will be getting here. If you are not having, so what we will be having is basically VDD. So we will put VICM is approximately equal to VDD when one of the branches is off. Clear? Notice I am telling you that it is VICM. Why not VS? In MEC, in Cedra-Smith, they have referred to this common mode or the VS voltage rather than VICM. What we will be able to understand in a while that VICM and VS are almost equal. Can anyone be smart enough to tell me why? VS, this common mode voltage, this VS and VICM are almost equal. Not necessarily. I am telling is in general, in this circuit, VICM and VS are the same. Why? Or socho, like think only about this part of the circuit, forget about the rest. What is this? Notice what is happening here. You are having a load and in the source region, and VDD, this is essentially going to the ground. ये कौन सा configuration है? CS, CD, CG. We are considering the voltage at the RSS. Okay. VDD is grounded. This is an NMOS transistor. CD, very good. CD ka, what is the concept of CD? Source follower. That means the output, if RSS is the load, the voltage whatever we are getting over here is the load voltage which will be following the source, what is VICM. Mathematically अगर देखना है तो क्या करेंगे? Analysis, a small analysis is there. VICM goes to internal circuitry of this MOSFET. कैसे लिखते थे? 1 by GM से. One current will be there. GM VGS, GM1 VGS1, 1 by GM1, then RSS, and here we are having VS. What is this value of VS now? Simply RSS by RSS plus 1 by GM into VICM. Obviously, what is the value of RSS? It is practically infinite because this is the internal impedance of, I have written internal impedance of the current source. So RSS is way higher than GM itself. So 1 by GM to chhodi do. So that means VS will always be equal to VICM mathematically. Okay, it has to be. Clear? This is mathematical. Physically also, without even going into this, you can realize that this is a source follower. So what I have done is basically the principle of source follower anyway. Clear? Please. VICM equal to? See, as I told you, the least voltage. So in one of the two extreme cases, one transistor will be off, the other one will be on. On means completely on because it is driving the entire IS through it. So what is the least value of VDS over here? Around 0.15 to 0.2 volts in saturation. Okay. So roughly whatever voltage you will be having in VDD, that will be coming down to VICM or VS. So otherwise what you can do is, you can simply get the current which is flowing such that this VS will essentially become to VDD. Actually it's not VDD. We will see in a while that when we are dealing with the, now let us concentrate on only this transistor. Okay. We are doing only for transistor M1. This is also the same for transistor M2. One which I told about this minimum value of VICM is defined by what? By the current mirror circuit. So the restriction on the minimum value of VICM or VS is defined by the current source which is driving this transistor, this differential amplifier. Clear hai na? So when we are looking inside the diff amp, into these transistors of the diff amp, then what is the V out by V in characteristics? This will be VDD, this is VT. Okay, what is this? VDS, let us say V out plus VT. So this is what? Saturation region, off region, and this is linear region. We have seen that many times. Transfer characteristics of a simple transistor, not an amplifier. Now, as long as Vin is less than Vt, the transistor is off. So V out will essentially be, as I told you, VDD itself. Okay. Now, since the drop across this M1 will be very low, so VICM or VS will be essentially equal to roughly VDD. But when it is gradually moving towards the linear region, the V out is also dropping. What is the voltage at this level? That is, what is the VDS minimum? VDS will be minimum when there is maximum drop across RD. Simple, है ना? वो maximum drop क्या हो सकता है? RD is anyway constant. When the current is maximum over there, what is the maximum current that can flow? Saturation current. What is that current? ISS was there, na? So ISS by 2. But in this case, this is differential mode. So ISS into RD. So what we will have is that in common mode, this RSS, let me just keep this in series. So what is the minimum value of the VS which you can obtain? So the idea what I am trying to impress is, what is the minimum value of VS which you can get is essentially given by VGS1 plus VOV. What is the maximum value you can get is defined by this ISS in common mode. These two are the same. So ISS is equally divided into the two branches, assuming that RD1, RD2 are the same. So what is the current flowing over here? ISS by 2. What is the maximum drop then possible? Because the current over here, maximum current flowing through RD will be ISS by 2. So ISS by 2 into RD will be the maximum drop over here. So what is the minimum value of VDS we will be getting? VDD minus ISS RD by 2. Okay. So let us just write it here. What is this VDS mean? Is equal to VDD minus ISS RD by 2. Are you getting everyone? Socho, please. Second instance M2. So when this is turned off, then the entire current will be essentially flowing over here. When will this be turned off? This is the same over here. When this V input is becoming lower than VT. So when V input is lower than VT, कब होने वाला है? This is the VICM. So when this is becoming lesser in the differential mode, then the other one will be essentially becoming higher, because you are taking the plus and minus of the two inputs. So when in this case, for example, this is the case when M2 is off, because the voltage which we are applying to M2 is less than VT, whereas this one is high. In the next cycle, when you are, remember what is this VI? This is an AC signal, it goes up and down. So that means VI1 will become positive one half cycle, negative on the other half cycle. When it is becoming negative, this will become positive, this one will become 0 or negative. We will see that. What we are trying to find out is that before we apply the common mode analysis, you have to understand what are the limits. The limits are essentially defined by the differential mode only. Okay? Now once we have obtained the limits that okay, VICM or the VS cannot go beyond this limits, then within that limit what is happening? You will soon realize why CMRR is becoming so important for our analysis. Let's see. Yes, please tell me. Yeah. Yes, that is one assumption which we are taking everywhere. Reason being, after after understanding the expression for CMRR, then we will take into account all the influences of the parameters. In MEC also probably you have done. So influence of GM variation, variation in RD. So that will come as an influence on CMRR. Okay, but we will see that restricted later. Yes, correct. VDS. Yeah, over here, this one. Yes. Let's come over here. Okay, just concentrate on this circuit. When we are applying the same voltage on both the cases, both the transistors, for the common mode, डिफरेंशियल के लिए नहीं है, ठीक है. देन the same current will be flowing through both of them, correct? But when we are trying to find out the minimum and maximum, in this case for example, M2 is off, M1 is totally on. In this scenario, what is the value of VO2 you will be getting? Let us say VO2, transistor is off, M2 is off, VO2 value is VDD, very nice. Okay, clear? Then the other branch, when M1 is totally on, what is the current flowing through? That is the maximum current which will be flowing over here is ISS, not ISS by 2. By 2, why it is coming, we will see it in a minute. I'll tell you. So ISS. So essentially, in the differential mode, previous lecture, not today's. In differential mode, what is the minimum value of VO1 you will be getting? VDD minus the maximum drop. What is that? ISS into RD1. So here you are getting the maximum value as VDD. Here you are getting VDD minus ISS into RD. Everyone clear with this until now? But that is happening in the differential mode. When we are dealing with common mode, then what is the case? We are still going to have the ISS which will be divided equally among both the transistors. Then the minimum value of VO1 which we will be getting will essentially be how much? VDD minus, abhi ISS nahi honge, because since this is common mode, you are ISS by 2 here. So each of these transistors, the value of VO which we will be getting is equal to VDD minus ISS by 2 into RD. Okay, so what I have told you is that the minimum value, now let's come back to today's lecture. The minimum value of the VICM or VS, either this or this, anyone, as we have seen, this is actually a source follower, VS will be roughly equal to VICM. So you could have also, in Cedar Smith's textbook, they have written VS. Instead of VS, they used V capital CM as the notation. In Razavi's textbook, they have written in terms of VICM. In this entire lecture, in this course, I am always telling you what is there in MEC, so that you don't think that MEC is bullshit. No, I mean MEC is extremely, this is the background for this lecture, this entire course. Okay, the only thing is that MEC is specified for, it's at a lower level than this course, than this lectures. So that is the reason why they have taken many approximations. That's the only difference. Okay, that's valid only for larger devices. So whatever things which all the circuits which we are studying in this course are actually valid at lower technology nodes also, 180 and below. Whereas Cedar Smith circuits or the MEC is valid for larger devices. Okay. So now in today's lecture, coming back over here, what we are suggesting is that this will become VDD minus ISS RD by 2. Why this by 2 is coming? Because we are applying the same voltage on the two inputs. So the current in both of them is ISS by 2, ISS by 2. ठीक है ना? So VS or that is equal to VICM. Minimum हमने देखे थे VGS plus VOV3. That was defined by what? Nothing to do with differential amplifier here. It has got to do with the current source. In fact, we will soon notice towards the end of this class that this entire CMRR concept जो है ना, it is totally dependent on how good your current source is. The better your current source, better will be your noise immunity. Okay. So if you want to have an op-amp which is having a very good CMRR, so whatever noise is there, it will totally reject all the noise. It is possible only when this RSS is infinity. So that means as a circuit designer, you should be concerned about perfecting the current source. No, 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 not at all. No. No, VICM equal to? That will not happen. What I am telling you is that when one of the branches is off, yes, in the differential mode. Okay. So VICM, if this is so, what is the net thing? So VICM, VS or VICM, any one of them is less than minimum of VDD. When will this be VDD? When it is working in the differential mode, है ना? Because when it is working in the common mode, what will be the minimum value? I have told you VDD minus ISS RD by 2. But something else is missing also. VICM क्या है? That is the voltage which you are applying at the gate. ठीक है? And this one is VDS minimum. So this VDS minimum के लिए what should be the value of the VGS? Remember, VDS minimum is equal to VGS minimum plus VT minus VT, है ना? So VICM is essentially the gate voltage, not the drain. So this VDS minimum is the minimum which will appear across the drain and the source of M1. What we are looking for is gate and the source of M1. VICM is basically the limits between gate and the source voltage. Yes or no, everyone? Think. So यहाँ पर एक VT add करना है. And what is the maximum value? We have seen VGS1 plus VOV3. So instead of this equation, let us understand the physical implication. VOV3 is what? Defined by not defined, given by or determined by transistor M3 or current source. Yes? And the maximum value of VICM, what is possible? VT is constant, VDD is constant, all this. Which is the variable over here? RD and ISS. ISS is again given by M3, current source. And what is RD? RD is given by the load. Okay, so when you are in industry or wherever, in VLSI industries, suppose somebody tells you, you need to increase the range of voltage where the MOSFET will be differential or the op-amp will be operating. That range is essentially defined by this. So if somebody tells you that I need lower voltages to operate, आप कौन सा unit पे काम करोगे? Current source पर. Okay, there is lot of meaning in the equation. So if you have trouble in algebra, okay, it doesn't matter, but concentrate on which portion. So if somebody like if you are told that the circuit should operate at a higher range of voltages, what to do? Work on the load and the current source, of course, because ISS is involved. Okay, so this will essentially determine the VICM. What is the maximum amount of noise the entire circuit can withstand? In digital, we will learn something called noise margin. How many of you don't know about it? I don't know about this. So noise margin is something which is much more crucial in case of digital circuitry because you can do something about it. Parity check is one of the examples. Odd parity, event parity. You have done that experiment. So in However, in analog circuits, the only way, the best option we have is using a perfect differential amplifier. All right. So now let us get into the circuitry. Now this will be easier. ICM. We are choosing an ideal case, RD as RD1, RD2 are equal, GM and all of these things are equal. Then, first thing to note is that if we are having the same VICM added to both the same transistors, M1, M2 are also the same. Okay? Then, the current which is flowing through RSS, the current source ISS, that will be equally divided into the two. Current over here, as I told you, ISS by 2, current over here, ISS by 2. Okay? So what is the voltage at these points? VO1, VO2. They will also be the same. I am not telling they are equal. They will be the same, right? Because the same current flowing through RD, VDD minus RD into ISS by 2. That will be the basically the currents over here. Make sense? That means we can effectively short this. Am I making any mistake? No. है ना? देखो अभी मजा आने वाला है. Then if we simply short that, then these two resistances, they are in parallel. So I can write like the same circuit becomes VDD. Parallel resistance होने पर what is the net effective resistance here? RD by 2. Very nice. How about the two transistors here? I will not put M1, M2. Let us do M1, M2, but they are the same. This will be applicable. Please try to do the tutorial problems. Those have been cherry picked so that the concepts become clear. Direct application of the tutorial problem, number 6 or something I forgot. क्या होने वाला? You remember? What is the net effective width of the transistor? They will simply be added. Okay? You can refer to your tutorial notes. So this simply becomes transistor M1 and M2 becomes M1 plus M2. Transistor M1 plus M2 matlab, what is the meaning of two transistors becoming together? The width is simply added. Okay? And how does it really intuitively kya hone wala? Notice if you are combining these two branches together, ISS by 2, ISS by 2 added up. So the total current flowing over here is ISS. Correct? So in this transistor what is going to happen? The current is doubled. Earlier it was only one branch. So the current is doubled now over here. That means effectively implies W1 plus W2 width. I am specifying W1 plus W2 because in the worst case scenarios the transistors may be different. We will see that variations later. समझ में आ रहा है? Because the current is doubled, the width will be doubled. Okay? If the width is doubled, what is the influence on K value? K is equal to mu n C of W by L. W is in the numerator. W is doubled means K is also doubled. Okay. Then this implies ID is doubled. Kn is doubled. GM, this is our main intention. GM क्या होने वाला? GM is equal to Kn into VOV is also doubled. Okay, this part you keep in mind. So whenever you are having transistors in parallel, if you can combine into one, then RSS का क्या होने वाला? It remains as it is because it was only one here anyway. RSS. What is the voltage here? VO1. Okay. Now this is the Razavi approach. We will see Sedra-Smith approach, which you have done in MEC, so that you can compare and you will find that both the approaches are exactly similar. Now, what is the case here now? CS amplifier with source degeneration, correct? So, what is the gain over here? VO1 by VICM is equal to, formula bitao, minus GM. What will this GM be? GM is doubled. We will put twice GM into RD. RD क्या है? RD by 2, because we have combined the two transistors, by 1 plus 2 GM into RSS So the gain which we have got is simply ACM. Clear? Hai? Notice. Now let us go into MEC so that you have the conception very clear. Sedra-Smith ने यहाँ पर ट्रांजिस्टर कॉम्बिनेशन का झंझट नहीं किया था. उसने क्या किया था? RSS को डिवाइड किया था. Notice this RSS is basically having these two terminals. So इसको अगर दो करते हैं तो क्या होगा? Twice RSS here, twice RSS here. So essentially this transistor can also be represented instead of this way, equivalent to VDD. Then you don't work anything about this here. It will become ISS by 2, as everything remains the same. The only thing is here it becomes twice RSS. In this case again, ACM is equal to VO1 by VICM is equal to minus GM into RD by 1 plus GM into twice RSS. They are exactly the same. Okay. Now we will be thinking that this approach is much simpler. Is a jhanjat se. The only trouble is, as I told you, Sedra-Smith, what it does is that it is basically bifurcating, dividing the current source resistance. But in reality, what is going to happen is that the two branches, they are never going to be exactly matched. So if you follow Razavi's technique, it might be difficult little bit to understand. But what happens is, you know that GM is essentially doubled. Doubled matlab, it is basically addition of GM1 plus GM2. So the moment we say that out of GM1 and GM2 something is mismatched, GM2 is slightly higher, you know how to deal with this. यहाँ पर ये twice GM के बदले में GM1 plus GM2 हो जाएंगे. RD by 2 है. When you know RD by 2, how did you get that RD by 2? It's basically a parallel of these two transistors, these two resistances. ठीक है ना? So Razavi's technique, if you follow, you can apply to, universally. Is that part clear? Whereas Sedra-Smith, which is perfectly correct, it will assume that nothing happens to RD, nothing happens to GM, then you can go about with this. Okay? Very nice. So I'll just conclude today's lecture with this. So ACM has come out to be this one. Previous lecture mein, what was the value of AD? Double-ended we will consider. Again, Sedra-Smith has done with single-ended. But अगर single-ended करना है, differential amplifier ही क्यों किए? है ना? So we will take the double-ended one, GMRD. So this is the gain in the differential mode. This is the gain in common mode. So what is our objective? We need to do something such that this AD is as high as possible and ACM is as low as possible. So CMRR I am not writing the full form, common mode rejection ratio, everybody knows that, is equal to mod of AD by ACM. AD is how much? Minus GMRD. This is how much? Minus GMRD by simpler? Huh? Achha, by the way, Sedra-Smith, if you go and check MEC, Sedra-Smith has also done another simplification. To GM into RSS again 2. This is much higher than 1. So they have neglected this 1 here. So what they have written is minus RD by twice RSS. This you will find in MEC. ठीक है? So, but this approximation is perfectly fine for larger devices. Smaller devices mein, it will be dicey. You should not take this approximation. Pura denge. All right. So once we have obtained the CMRR, as an engineer, as a designer, your objective is to increase CMRR as much as possible. So CMRR कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं? How can you increase CMRR? One way, GM बढ़ा सकते हो. Other way, RSS को बढ़ा सकते हो. Only way you can increase RSS is by making it what? An ideal current source. RSS will be ideal current source, infinity हो जाएंगे. Okay. Now, if CMRR, so ideally, let us say, what is the implication for noise cancellation? I told you, no? The reason why we are going into differential amplifier is noise cancellation, noise immunity. कैसे बढ़ते हैं? CMRR, ideally CMRR should be equal to how much? Infinity. Meaning AD by ACM is equal to infinity. When is that possible? AD is going to be very high, all right. That is possible only when ACM is equal to 0. What does it imply? ACM क्या है? VO1 is equal to 0 into VICM. Now is the fun. What is this VICM? This is the common mode input. Irrespective of the common mode input, you will always get VO1 equal to 0. That means the influence of anything happening in the common mode will be 0. Influence. Okay. So now, as I told you at the very beginning of previous lecture, in both the circuits, doesn't matter, in any of the circuits, whenever we are having any noise, okay, for example, I am speaking on this microphone over here, but there is a hum in the AC, okay. So that hum part, if that is a noise, what will happen? That noise is going to affect both the inputs simultaneously, because that is the background noise we are talking about, correct? Whereas when I am doing a voice modulation, like in my microphone, probably that particular frequency, 300 Hertz to how much? 3.3 kilohertz, let us say, that one is fed to one of the two inputs. So what will happen? The noise will essentially add up delta V to VI, delta V to VI2. Okay. So if it is the same in both the noise parts, that will automatically get cancelled with if the ACM part is 0. Is that part clear? So whenever you are designing an amplifier, let us say the best quality noise cancelling speakers, your objective is to bifurcate the band, whatever input is coming, to the various ranges. So that means if you are having a voice, you know 300 to 3.3 kilohertz, right? So that range should have the voice. Whereas the AC hum and all, those are beyond, we can hear it, but definitely we cannot produce that kind of sound from our voice, correct? So what happens is that does not fall in that particular range. So we will simply add one filter. Now you see actual voice cancellation circuit in both speakers. They are charging so much. आप लोग बनाओ इसे India, made in India. So what we will do is we will simply put one filter at the two inputs, which will simply figure out what is the net like within 300 hertz to 3.3 kilohertz, the voice frequency. Whatever signal is there, it is going to go into one of the two transistors, either M1 or M2. So that will essentially act as the differential mode. Please understand. That will get amplified by AD, which is very high. Whereas the hum, which is not there in 300 and 3.3 kilohertz, that means that is essentially extraneous noise. You don't have to bother about it. Kyunki they will actually act on both of them because you have put a filter over there. So it will act on both of them. Filter is only for 300 to 3.3. That is only the voice one. The remaining range, whatever noise is there, that will be added to both of them, just like this one, VICM. So that is the noise. So what is going to happen? Since now you have made this perfect with one ACM equal to 0, irrespective of the noise, your influence on the output is always 0. समझ में आ रहा? Whereas the voice modulation, the voice part, that is simply amplified with AD. Clear? Huh? So this is one of the major, like what should I say, engineering breakthroughs of making a differential amplifier. Differential amplifier is the reason we have got op amps, and op amp is the reason why we have got Texas Instruments, analog devices. All the entire analog VLSI industry banks on making what? Some kind of differential amplifier somewhere in the circuit, right? So differential amplifier से ही बना है. जैसे I told you ना, instrumentation amplifier is the reason why you have instrumentation engineering department. This differential amplifier is the reason why you have analog electronics course or analog department, तो नहीं है, but you will have this impact. We will see. CMOS is the reason why you have digital. So these are breakthroughs. Okay. Thank you so much. In the next class, we begin with op amp design. you.